Hi everybody. What we're going to be doing today is combining some of the things that we learned in the previous couple videos, simplifying and combining like terms and distributing, and we're going to combine it with having variables on both sides. And as you can see, I just practiced this lesson with my dog Maya, right there. She worked so hard, she just fell asleep. So she had a lot of fun learning this, and I hope you do too. So let's get to the first set of examples. We're going to start, and we look at both sides of this equal sign, and we notice that they have some like terms that they can combine. So on the left side, we have the constant terms. We have an 11, and we have a minus 25. Those can get combined, and they can be simplified. So let's go ahead and simplify them. We'll just start with the 10x. That one doesn't change. But if I combine 11 with a minus 25, 11 take away 25 would be a negative 14. So I'm going to put minus 14 here. Then we put equals, and now we're going to go to the other side. And on this side, I have some x's that I can combine. So I look at this minus x. I can combine that with a plus 7x. So let's go ahead and combine those together. Minus x means like a negative 1x. So if you take a negative 1x and you add 7x, it's going to be 6x. And then we have 6x plus 30. So now what we've just done is we've taken this problem and we've brought it down to a variable on both sides, and it's just like what we did in the previous video. So now we're going to take those skills. We're going to move the smaller one first. So of the 10x and the 6x, move the smaller one. So I'm going to get rid of 6x by doing minus 6x to both sides. And then the 6x goes away, and we're left with 4x minus 14 is equal to a positive 30. And now we have just a two-step equation. I want to try and get this x by itself, but in the way of that is the minus 14. So let's get rid of the minus 14, and we're going to do plus 14 to both sides. And then we're left with 4x equals 44. And now we're just one step away. To get rid of that 4, we have to divide by 4 on both sides, and we end up with x is equal to 11. So just to summarize everything that we did, we looked on each side of the equal sign, we combined all the like terms if we could, and then we just solved it like we did in the previous videos. Let's look at one more. Draw our line going down that equal sign. Let's take a look at the left side of that line. Do you see any like terms? Yeah, you see that 17x and the minus 7x. Let's go ahead and circle those. 17x and minus 7x. Now, if you combine 17x with a minus 7x, you end up getting 10x. So those simplify to be a 10x. And we still have the plus 25. Now we're going to look at the right side of this. We look at the 5x, and there's no like terms with the 5x over here, so I'm just going to write 5x. But you will notice 35 and 80. Those are like terms, so we can combine those together. So 35 and the plus 80, that gives us a positive 115. So now we have variables on both sides. I want to get rid of the smaller one. So if I look at 10x and I look at 5x, the one that's smaller is the 5x. We'll get rid of that by subtracting it. So subtract 5x from both sides. And the 5x goes away. 10x take away 5x is 5x. Drop down the plus 25. Drop down the 115. Now we've brought it down to a two-step equation. To get rid of this plus 25, you have to do the opposite. So we're going to minus it. So subtract 25. Cancel the 25s, and now we're just left with a 5x equals 115 minus 25 gives you 90. And finally, To get rid of this 5, because the 5 is multiplying to the x, we have to divide it. We're doing the opposite. Divide by 5, and we get x equals 18. So now it's going to be your chance to practice on your own. Go ahead and pause this video, try the next 2 problems on your own, and then you'll end up submitting these to your quiz on Schoology. So go ahead, hit pause, and then come right back. Welcome back. If you look there, I just did the first step for you. So if you're confused on anything, go ahead and double check that first step on combining like terms. After that, move the smaller one to the other side. So that's the hint that I'll give. And I think you should get something like 96 and 4 for those two. I can't remember, but hopefully you get something like that. Next couple examples for you. Now it's going to involve a little bit of distributing too. And then we're going to combine some like terms. So let's go ahead, draw a line going down. So the first thing that happens is we have to distribute. So in this case, we see this minus sign, it's like a -1, and we can distribute it to both of them. -1 times x is minus x. -1 times -4 is positive 4. Then we drop down the plus 2x. That equals 18 plus 3x. So that first step that we did was we distributed. Now you'll notice on the left side, we still have a couple like terms that we can combine together. So if I combine a -1x with a positive 2x, -1 plus 2 is a positive 1x. So it's going to be 1x, I'll just put x, plus 4 is equal to 18 plus 3x. So to recap those steps, we distributed, we combined like terms, and now we can start the solving process. So we're going to look at x over here and 3x over there, move the smaller one. The smaller one is the 1x, so we're going to subtract x from both sides. Then those x's go away. We're left with 4 equals 18, and then 3x minus 1x is a positive 2x. To get x by itself, we have to get rid of that 18, so we're going to subtract it. Subtract 18 from both sides. And we get a -14 on the left is equal to 2x. Divide by 2 on both sides. And we end up with -7 is equal to x. If you write x equals -7, it means the same thing. So distribute, combine like terms, and then go ahead and solve. Let's take a look at this next example. There's a couple things to distribute, so let's draw our line going down. We're going to start by distributing that 3. So distribute the 3 to both. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 8 is a 24. So we multiplied those. Now we're going to distribute that 5. So 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times -8 is a -40. And then we still have plus 4x over there. So step 1, distribute. We did that. Step 2, combine like terms. If you look on the left side over here, there are no like terms. 6x and 24, they're different terms. But if I look over here, I see 10x and I see 4x. Those are like terms. We're going to combine them together. So copy down the 6x plus 24. And then on this side, 10x plus 4x combine to be 14x. So we distributed. We combined like terms, and now we are going to end up solving. So move the smaller one, we're going to move the 6x. So we subtract 6x from both sides. And we're left with 24 equals 8x minus 40. Now we want to get x all by itself, so that minus 40 is in the way. Let's plus 40 to both sides. 24 and 40 gives us 64 equals 8x. And then we just divide by 8. on both sides. And 64 divided by 8 is 8. So we get x equals 8. So distribute, combine like terms, and then solve. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to do on your own. Go ahead and pause this video. I'll go ahead and give you a couple freebie first steps for you, and then you can go ahead and finish solving on your own. So go ahead and hit pause, and then come right back after you're done. All right, here are the first couple steps for each of the problems. The first step I did in each one was distribute, and then I identified the like terms that needed to be combined. And then it brought it down to an equation with variables on both sides. So I didn't give you the answer, but hopefully you got something that looks like this before you proceeded to finding your final answer. And if you didn't, it's a good way to go back and check your work. So thank you for joining. Hopefully I didn't tire you out. My dog's still sleeping back there. I really wore her down. Come back next time and you're going to learn about special cases with infinite solutions, no solutions, and x equals 0. So thanks for joining. See you next time.